Hi, I'm Harket from Car India and I'm in Mahindra's facility in Nashik to drive this, the Mahindra Nuvosport.
The Nuvosport is a sub 4 meter 7-seater SUV and does have a whiff of familiarity about it because
The Nuvosport replaces the Quanto in Mahindra's lineup and it is based largely on the Quanto. So you can see a lot of that car's underpinnings on this. What is different from the Quanto is this, the DRLs or the daytime running lights, which have been added as a new feature. There's also a hood scoop, which is actually functional, unlike on some cars where it's just purely an attribute added to make the car look better. Over here, it actually serves the purpose of blowing air onto the engine. If you come to the side of the car, it doesn't look very different from the Quanto. And there are a few changes in the back, which we'll get to. Coming to the rear of the Nuvosport, and you can see that the tail lights for sure are different. Everything else seems to echo a lot of the Quanto styling, so not much different here. The seating position is pretty commanding. If you look at the steering wheel, you'll find that the steering mounted controls, including cruise control, which is new and interesting. If you may have noticed, this is the auto variant. So this car comes with an AMT gearbox, which following the usual form is more attuned to economy than performance per se. If you also look at the seats, we now have armrests for both front seats, and comfort wise I would say that the seats could have done a little bit more thigh support, but apart from that, not much to complain about. The plastic quality is still a little lacking, but everything else seems to be in order. If you look at the infotainment system, it's a Kenwood system and it's pretty easy to use. Also, the switches and the buttons are of a decent quality, so no complaints there either. The dual tone finish of the interior is decent, but it's not eye-catching or something that I'm completely mad about.
other features include front lumbar support and seat height adjust, tilt adjust for the steering, and a unique AC Eco mode that cuts off the AC more regularly to improve efficiency.
Coming to the second row, and you'll notice that I haven't adjusted the driver's seat at all after having driven the car, and the knee room is just about adequate. There's also no AC vents in the second row, which is unusual because there are a lot of hatchbacks on the market out there that have this feature. So coming round to the back and to the third row, if you see, it doesn't look very spacious, but I'm going to climb in and demonstrate anyway. And just as I mentioned, it's barely big enough to fit one adult, oversized adult like me, but maybe two really skinny people might just be able to cramp themselves in here. But that's about it. I think more than anything else, the third row will be used by the children of the family if you own this car.
Take the Nuvosport for a spin, and the first thing you notice is that the cabin insulation is at an acceptable level. The 1.5 litre turbo diesel engine peaks at 3750 rpm and as such is a low revving one, which would ideally require quick upshifts for maximum go. This isn't the case though, because the Recado AMT, like most others in the commuter segment, is more efficiency focused. This though results in a sluggish shift and an experience that doesn't quite match the performance numbers on paper. The ride quality seemed on the softer side, although Mahindra's track wasn't the ideal place to give this a thorough inspection, and we couldn't pass definitive judgment on how the suspension or the chassis behaved in corners. The steering is pretty light though, allowing you to change direction quickly, but that is countered by the body roll, which does become an issue when cornering hard. Braking is achieved by an ABS and EBD infused front disc rear drum setup. When slamming the brakes hard, I would have liked a little more bite, and the feel too could have been a little less spongy.
So now we're in the manual variant of the Nuvosport, and as you can see, it has a conventional 5-speed gearbox. What's interesting is this little button over here that says Eco mode. So what this is Mahindra's technology that allows the car to be more fuel efficient when you push the button, obviously. It changes the mapping of the engine to allow you to do that. What's really interesting though is this mode isn't available in the AMT variant, only in the manual variant.
The 5-speed manual is a long throw gearbox, and while a lot more exciting to drive than the AMT, isn't quite responsive enough to absolutely exploit all of the car's performance.
So I'm just done driving the manual variant of the Nuvosport, and overall the car has a lot of strengths and a few shortcomings as well. But the big question on everyone's minds is, how much does it cost? To find out, we need to go to the Nuvosport launch, which is happening in Mumbai. And here we are. We're at the Nuvosport launch in Mumbai, and the pricing for the car is from 7.35 lakh to 9.76 lakh ex-showroom Thane, and the influence of the sub 4 meter category is very prominent in this pricing. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media as well.